Hello YouTube, it's M1NDxBEND3R here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the third and final member of the SWAT team. This is Mantid. Mantid, as you can see, transforms into a praying mantis, and since he's the last member of the team, what we're actually going to do is we're going to spend the first half of this video taking a look at Mantid himself, and then we're going to spend the second half taking a look at the SWAT team in its whole, complete form. So, getting into his praying mantis mode, you can see, what you see is basically what you get. He's just a giant, robotic-looking praying mantis. And I'm actually very, very pleased with how this turned out, because as soon as I started this this whole SWAT team, I knew I really wanted the last member to be a praying mantis. That was just absolutely stuck in my head. I didn't care what the other two turned into. I just wanted the last one to be a praying mantis. So it took a lot of work. Put a lot of hours into building this guy, and he finally came out just the way I wanted him to. I could not be happier with how he turned out, so here he is. So, as far as articulation goes, he's pretty good actually. As you can see, he's got the mixal ball joints all around on his lower legs here, as well as in the knee, and the second knee is just a droid arm on a hinge, as well as down here. I don't want to move his legs around too much, because getting him to stand is... Well, getting him to stand isn't hard, but getting all four of his legs to touch the ground, that can be a little difficult, so I don't want to mess him up. Moving up to his arms, you can see he's got one elbow joint here, another one here, and then a ball joint up at his shoulder, so his arms can move around a whole lot, but obviously, it's fun to keep him in the little praying mantis position. His head is a little weird, because it can move just up and down on a hinge, but you gotta grab the whole head, because if you just grab one half, that half, let's focus so you can actually see it. If you just grab one half, just that half is gonna move. So when you're moving the head, you want to make sure you're grabbing the whole thing. Which, minor inconvenience, but for the sake of transformation, as well as the overall look, that's just the way it had to be. So now taking Mantid and just moving him back here, let's get the whole team in here in their insect forms just to get a good look at them. So here we'll have Skimmer, put him right over here. Oh, this is going to be crowded, I can already tell. And then we'll get Widow over on the other side here. Squeeze her in there. Boy. Not a lot of room. Can we zoom out a little bit? Oh, we're out as far as we can go. Alright. So there is the three main members of the SWAT team. And then bring in the biters down here. It's like a big family photo. Say cheese, everybody. And there we have the entire SWAT team in all of its insecty goodness here in one frame. We've got Widow, Mantid, Skimmer, and the two biters. Alright, let's get him out of here and take a look at Mantid's robot mode. Transforming Mantid for the first time can be a little bit complicated, if not kind of frustrating. But once you get used to it and you've done it a couple times, then it only becomes a little bit frustrating. So, let's get to it. To start, you take his mantis arms, you just move them out of the way. You get a good grip here on his mantis neck, and you just break it right in half. Just snap it right down the middle. You're going to swing them out to the sides like so, and just kind of leave them there for now. Next, you're going to come down here to the mantis legs and push these ones back, the front ones. You're going to take the section they were on and just kind of, once again, swing it out of the way. His transformation starts with a lot of just getting things into position before you can really start putting them together. So, up here at the thorax, you're going to take this cheese slope here, and you're going to pull that up. Then you're going to come down to this section here, and you're going to open that a little bit, like so. Then you're going to take the whole thorax bit and just fold it down. It's right about now that you're going to want to take the leg bit and just fold it right like so, so it sits against the front of, so it sits right where his mantis neck used to be. Now you're going to take this piece right here, and you're going to fold it down like that, just so it sits flush there. And then you're just going to take his thorax, and you're going to fold it down, like so. And then you just fold this piece, just this piece, right back in there. Now you're going to come down to his legs, his mantis legs, and they will become his robot legs. So you just swing them down like so. And you rotate the bottom around like this. Fold out his feet like so. Do the same thing on the other side. And now, what were a pair of mantis legs become a pair of robot legs. As you can see, we kind of got just this big mass of robot and mantis junk. And this is where it can be a little frustrating. Because, you know, you got arms, you got sections here, you got legs down here, plus the robot legs. It's all a big mess. So, here's where we start putting the robot together. You're going to take these pieces right here and you're going to turn them sideways. And then you're going to take the mantis bit and rotate it down further. You're going to fold it up like this. Flip what will become the head around. Just get that out of the way. And then what's going to happen here, zooming in on it so you can see, is this jumper plate is going to plug in right into this bit right there, just like so. And this can be a little tricky to line up, but once you get it, you can kind of just get it above there. There you go. Lock it in like so. And now his shoulder is locked into place and it's not moving anywhere. So zooming back out, we're just going to do that the same thing on the other side. Locking it into place like so. There we go. Nice and easy. And then I just kind of like to get these lined up straight so that they... Alright, there we go. Now, we just fold these mantis head pieces. Make sure that they don't fall off. Fold these pieces back like so, and they're just going to sit back there. Fold up his mantis head and rotate the faceplate down like so. Then you come around to these legs on the side, and what they actually do is they just kind of fold down and form like a kind of a waist cape, I guess, or maybe like a little side armor. It's really up to you to decide what these are, but really they're just a place for his legs to sit when they're not being used in mantis mode. So those sit right down there. And then lastly, his arms. You just rotate them around. I actually really like this bit. This bit folds back, and then you take the bottom part and it folds out. And now his mantis arms have become his robot arms. Do the same thing on the other side here. And there, getting everything situated and sitting right. Oh, he can be back heavy just because he's got the big thorax on his back, but once you get him standing, not a problem. And there is Mantid in his robot mode. Despite the long and sometimes frustrating road it took to get here, Mantid's robot mode is definitely worth it in my opinion. I just absolutely love how it looks. Just starting out by giving you a little 360 here. You can see, you know, he's got a bit of kibble to him, but really it's kind of just in places where you either don't notice it or just don't care about it, really. Like, for example, these mantis bits up on his shoulders here. I actually think that gives him kind of a cool little look, kind of like an Ultra Magnus kind of look, even though obviously Magnus's shoulder pads were attached to his arms and not the shoulders themselves, but it's still reminiscent of that kind of things poking up from the shoulders look. As far as articulation goes, his arms are on ball joints here, and what I really love about his arms is that even though these pieces are all on ball joints and they swing around in robot mode, they're very solidly connected right here. Right in there, there's a very solid connection, so you can move his arms around by themselves, and this isn't going anywhere. Same thing down here. He's got ball joints on his legs, and then a little hinge on his foot here. Oh, right. Hinge elbow as well, but you got to be careful of this, because this can get in the way if you're not careful. These waist pieces actually do not get in the way as much as you think they would, because these are exactly the same as these. So these are just as articulated as his legs. So if you want to get his leg, swung out like that, you just swing this out of the way. They're very, very good at getting out of the way of the legs. So really they do just serve the purpose of a waist cape in that they look kind of cool and they get out of the way when you need them to. His head is on a ball joint, just like all the other team members. And this piece back here, right here, the slider plate, can actually kind of get in the way if you lean his head too far back, but really it's not as big a deal as it could have been. I mean, it just sits right back in there. That really could have gotten in the way, but it doesn't. It doesn't as much as it could have, so overall I'm happy with how he looks. So, get him standing up there, focusing in on him there. Let's bring in the other two members of the SWAT team. Here we got Widow, and here is Skimmer. And so, finally, we have the SWAT team all together in its entirety. And when he's with the other two members of the SWAT team, another thing I really like about him is that he just looks like the man in charge to me. He's got a very commanding presence to him. He's very tall, he's big, but he's not like overly bulky. He just looks like, there's really no other way to say it. He just looks like the guy in charge. So, getting these two out of the way, let's take a look at his weapons. In the way of weapons, Mantid carries just a simple blaster rifle right here. Let's see if we can focus in on it. And it's nothing too special, just a little build I made. But I'm pretty proud of how it looks. I mean, you can see there's nothing too complicated going on there, but it's just a cool little blaster rifle that clips right into his hand. Like so. And he can hold that. And then for his melee weapon, I actually put a lot of thought into this one, because I was thinking, like, he's a praying mantis. What would be a good kind of weapon for a praying mantis to carry? And I finally decided a sickle would be perfect. So he carries this kind of scythe weapon right here, and that can just clip into his other hand. Let's see if we can do this without knocking him over. There we go. So I'll get the sickle and the blaster all together, and there is Mantid all geared up and ready for war. So guys, that's basically Mantid. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of change gears and take a look at the entire SWAT team as a whole. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little jump cut here and just get the entire team on screen in just a second. So now we've got the entire SWAT team on screen and together, and boy, I just cannot get over how good those colors look. The green and the black and the gray all together. I just absolutely love how these guys look together. Just something about it just does it for me. It's a perfect team color in my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through each member individually, go over what their job on the team is, as well as kind of just what kind of a dude that they are, or in Widow's case, dudette. Whatever. We're going to just kind of go through each one, their position, their weapons, and just who they are. So let's start off with the first one, Skimmer. So first up is Skimmer, codename Garden Boy. His job on the team is weapons specialist, as well as aerial combat or aerial surveillance. Basically anything that has to do with flying, he's your man, because he transforms into a dragonfly and he's good at it. As for his codename Garden Boy, you might be wondering why they call him that. Well, it's because of this right here. This is Skimmer's new toy that is commonly referred to as Skimmers Trimmer. The reason they call it that is because whenever there's an overcrowding of Decepticons, they just let Skimmer use his trimmer for a couple seconds and suddenly there's no more Decepticons. As you can see, this is just kind of a minigun style gun that I just built him up, and I really love how he looks with it. It's just kind of hilarious to me because he's not, on the team at least, he is the shortest member of the team, but he does carry the biggest gun. And it's just funny to imagine him running after the team, trying to keep up, lugging this giant gun with him everywhere he goes. So that's one weapon of his. But when the mission calls for a quieter approach, Skimmer isn't afraid to whip out his pair of chopping swords. As you can see now, he's got a nice pair of katanas that'll just slice through any Decepticon that needs removing from his way. And when all else fails, he's not afraid to go all Dwight McCarthy on people and whip out a powerful pair of personal hand pistols to get him out of any kind of sticky situation he might end up in. Now we move from the member of the team with the largest bullet count to the member of the team with the largest body count. This is Widow, codename Killer Queen, and her position on the team is that of an assassin. She specializes in sabotage as well as just generally making people disappear. If you've got a dirty deed you need done quietly, then she's the one to call. Her primary weapons are her bare hands, as well as the wrist blades permanently affixed to her forearms. However, Widow has no problem using her personal, custom, silenced pistol to get the job done from afar. I guarantee you, you'll be dead long before you hear the gunshot. When it comes time for heavy combat and there's no more reason to play it quiet, Widow proudly whips out her trusty battle axe and fights with all the ferocity of a proper Valkyrie. Thanks to Minecraft Maniac for giving me the idea. Up next on the team are the bite-sized biters. These small-sized scouts can serve many purposes such as surveillance or even assistance in aerial combat, but their main job is weapons delivery. Whenever a member of the SWAT team needs a new weapon delivered to them, the biters can simply use their mosquito modes to zip through enemy fire and drop it straight down to the warrior in need. These are the members of the team I would actually be most afraid of if the team was real, because here in Minnesota, mosquitoes are not your friend. And now we come full circle to the final member of the SWAT team, Mantid. Codename, Lord of the Flies. Mantid is the sergeant in command of the SWAT team, whose brutal tactics and take-no-prisoners attitude has earned his team the nickname Prime's Bad Side. We've already seen Mantid's weapons in this video, so there's no reason to go through them again. Alright guys, so with the addition of Mantid, the SWAT team is finally complete, and boy, am I happy with how they look. I mean, everything about these guys, their colors, their insect modes, their robot modes, just everything works for me. I absolutely love how these guys turned out, and I really hope you guys are as happy with them as I am, because they have been a long time coming. So, until next time guys, I have been Mindbender. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like this video, feel free to subscribe. Take care, I'll see you next time.